at the 35. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. On fourth down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. On the slant, completes to Sutton. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. First down, Bridgewater. Buying time to his left. A beautiful fake. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Throwing, Bridgewater. Being chased out left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Teddy Bridgewater. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
McManus's point after is good, and the route is on here in this first half. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They've got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done.
To throw again on second down. Jones. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Evan Ingram was the intended target. Now Jones. And it's 3rd down. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. Position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And returning it, here's Hamler. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's...
And got his man complete. And all the way home for the Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy, 84 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now, first quarter in this sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it, it's scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before. Realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well.
else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Throwing, Jones. Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. And he will have a Giants first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. A first down carry for Barkley. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. The offense on third down tonight, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now Saquon Barkley able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Barkley. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2nd and goal from the 1. Booker. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Devontae Booker punching it in from a yard away. And the Giants gain a bit of respectability. Extra point try good by Gano. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first. Half of football. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Melvin Gordon leading Denver's offense back out. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos are able to widen their lead here in this first half. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use, than them. And one play, 75 yards end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Evan Ingram, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And it's for pride now, but the Giants do get a bit closer. Gano the extra point, and they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And they're going to have lousy starting field position as he's out of bounds at his 6-yard line. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown. Jerry Jeudy on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. Boy, the action just coming fast and furious right now. If you got up to go get a drink from the fridge, you picked the wrong time. 2 long touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's how you answer a one-play drive with a one-play drive of your own. And you're exactly right. If you step away from the action, my dad took me to a Major League Baseball game when I was 8. I needed to go to the bathroom. Of course, while we're in the bathroom, grand slam home run.
Well, it tends to happen that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, my dad still hasn't forgiven me.
And I think the Broncos have it. Do. Well, there you go. Just your everyday leading big and you onside kick it with a lead. They got it. I mean, it worked, but interesting call.
I think because they have such a margin, they feel a little bit bolder about what they're doing. And it's not only just to try and increase their lead, but that's their way of saying...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy, 55 yards. And the Broncos add on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy. And the Broncos get there and take him down. books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. From the gun, Jones. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first. Down marker, a nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. $37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates.
He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown.
Right, in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes, someone delivering it accurately. Offensive line giving them time to throw the ball. A true team record, but he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
it away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off play action. Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I'm not sure it made a difference on that play, but one thing to keep in mind, here in the early part of the year during a day game, the sun does play a factor on deep balls.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Jamie Gillendow as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Judy, 95 yards. And the Broncos add on. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. Second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right Approach and going after it also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things.
A give to Barkley out of the gun, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw here taken in by Ingram. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike. He knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again. All right, partner, get that disapproving look off of your face. He did get it out to the 1-yard line. Yeah, I know. Wasn't the best play in the world. He's hoping his offense can bail him out.
And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates.
He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week. Solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Nifty move by Gordon. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Bridgewater on first down.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Jeudy.
And got his man complete. Touchdown.
Jerry Jeudy.
77 yards. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over.
And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the rush coming, and he's taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Another try after the first down sack. Jones.
And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
And that'll be caught by Tony.
Touchdown, Giants. Kadarius Toney with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Giants gain a bit of respectability.
All you hear from coaches and personnel directors in the NFL, how difficult it is for a rookie receiver to have an impact on the game. So much to learn, so much offense to absorb. Looks like he's picking it up pretty well.
I would say so. And how about that for your first career NFL touchdown?
I don't know that he envisioned it quite that way, but if he was smart, he probably dreamed about it a little bit.
KJ Hamler returning it. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
And coming out now, the Broncos. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. So, CD, big changes for 2021. Of course, last year we had the expansion from 6 to 7 teams in each conference making the playoffs. This year, the headline, the addition of a 17th regular season game. What did you think when you heard the news that this was happening?
Well, my first thought, partner, was finally, because we've heard about a 17th game coming for a long time, and now here it is. So the beautiful part about all of it is that 17th game is going to be like these interdivision, interconference type games that are going to match up and play out over a 4-year period. And that's kind of cool. And I was looking forward to seeing some of the matchups that were going to come out of that for that 17th game. And could that be the game that decides a bunch of division titles?
To the air again with Bridgewater. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to have great field position.
This is returned just shy of midfield.
Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Jones now to throw on 3rd down. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Jamie Gillen now. As they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos.
And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. On 1st down, Flacco. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Flacco will take to the air again. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Touchdown Broncos. Eric Saubert from 6 yards away. And the Broncos add on. Now Flacco will lead them up as they're going to go for 2. They're going to give it to Gordon. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But, Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
But the focus shifts back to Daniel Jones and company.
And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
Make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And Ingram hauls it in. his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Giants get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Extra point try good by Gano. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Flacco staying on his feet.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Flacco eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
So a costly penalty. Yardage-wise, as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
2nd and 10. That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy.
And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Flacco. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We begin with a couple of teams that met up last season in the divisional round of the playoffs. Cleveland paying another visit to Kansas City. And it's the Browns who are out on top. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. From there, we head east to check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins, over the visiting LA Chargers.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates.
A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Now it's Flacco.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Escaping the pressure right.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Oh, able to avoid him. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. And now they're in the hurry-up. 1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. Nifty move by Gordon. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the great move out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. Way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown.
K.J. Hamler
from 3 yards out.
And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
And he is not going to get to the goal line. And for the first time here this afternoon, they are thwarted on the 2-point conversion.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit. But going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back and you're cheering you at. I mean, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot.
No.
No, okay.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
The throw for Tony is intercepted.
Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
And the Broncos are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
There goes a deep ball, end zone.
Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. Cortland Sutton with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown.
So this looking more and more like it is going to be a successful kickoff to their campaign as they add on here.
And partner, you know NFL coaches, they're on the sideline thinking about all the little things that need correcting. But for the most part, they've got to be ecstatic with the way this season has started out.
And they are just not going to let as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Back to throw. Jones. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
The Broncos and Cortland Sutton heading back out there.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Oh, look at the juke. A good gain on 1st. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Flushed out right. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. So that one a disaster, a big loss there with 2nd down coming up.
If you're a selfish player, and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage long.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy, 59 yards.
And the Broncos get another third quarter.